The screen of the world flickered, but Elias remained unplugged. He had slept for 8 hours, yet he awoke feeling like a marathon runner who had never left the starting blocks. His brain was a dead battery that refused to hold a charge. At his desk, the fluorescent lights hummed, echoing the heavy, stagnant boredom in his chest. His body was present, but his mind drifted through a thick, murky fog. Thoughts felt like lead, sinking before they could form. He wasn't just tired. He was stuck in a gray static waiting for a spark that never came. This feeling has a name. Most people call it burnout. They tell you to drink more coffee. They tell you to work harder. They tell you to just tough it out. But I am here to tell you that they are wrong. Your brain isn't broken. You aren't lazy. You are actually a victim of an invisible prison. You were born to run through tall grass and climb mountains. You were made to track the sun and listen to the rhythm of the rain. But instead, you are living in a box. You wake up in a box. You drive to work in a box. You stare at a glowing box all day long. This is a massive evolutionary mismatch. Your biology is at war with your modern life. Your mind is starving for something it hasn't seen in years. It is starving for the wild. Today, we are going to fix that. I am going to show you a secret path back to your true self. It is a Japanese practice called Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing. This isn't just about looking at pretty trees. This is about a biological reset that can lower your stress by 60% in minutes. It is about a hidden chemical language that trees use to heal your body while you breathe. If you stay with me until the very end of this video, I am going to give you a specific 5-minute emergency reset protocol. This is a tool you can use even if you live in the middle of a loud, concrete city. It will help you clear the brain fog and reclaim your focus instantly. You don't need a vacation. You don't need a new job. You need to remember where you came from. Let's start the journey to bring your brain back to life. Look at the walls around you right now. Do you see how many straight lines and sharp corners there are? Look at your phone, your laptop, and your square window. Everything in your modern world is made of flat surfaces and perfect boxes. But here is the problem. Your eyes were never meant to see these shapes. In the wild, there are almost no straight lines. Nature is full of beautiful, messy patterns called fractals. Think about the way a tree branch looks. It splits into smaller branches. Those split into even smaller twigs. This same pattern repeats over and over. This is the geometry of life. Your brain loves these patterns. It can look at a tree or a cloud and understand it instantly. It is easy for your eyes to process. But when you stare at a flat wall or a spreadsheet, your brain has to work extra hard. This creates something called fractal deprivation. It means your mind is hungry for natural shapes. Because you are surrounded by boxes, your brain is always on high alert. It feels like it is trying to solve a puzzle that has no answer. This is why you feel tired even when you aren't moving. You are suffering from visual stress. Scientists have found something amazing. When you look at natural patterns, your stress levels drop almost immediately. Your heart rate slows down. Your brain waves shift into a state of relaxed focus. It is like your mind is finally taking a deep breath. You aren't tired of working. You are tired of looking at things that are dead. You are tired of 90-degree angles. Your brain is begging you to look at a leaf, a river, or a mountain. It wants the visual medicine of the forest. We have built a world that is geometrically dead. We live in concrete cages and wonder why we feel trapped. But the cure is waiting for you outside. You need to break the cycle of straight lines. You need to feed your eyes the patterns they were evolved to crave. When you understand this, you realize that burnout isn't a mental weakness. It is just your body telling you that it misses the shapes of the wild. You don't need a new brain. You just need a better view. You probably think the answer to your stress is a digital detox. You think if you just turn off your phone for an hour, you will feel better. But let's be honest, does that ever really work? You put the phone down, but your mind still feels loud. You sit in silence, but you still feel like you are vibrating with anxiety. This is because turning things off is only half of the battle. You don't just need a break from technology. You need a sensory rewilding. You need to fill your empty senses with the real world. Think about your 5 senses. Right now, they are starving. Your eyes only see pixels. Your ears only hear the hum of the air conditioner or the sound of traffic. Your skin only feels the recycled air of an office. You are living in a sensory vacuum. This is why you feel so disconnected. Your brain is designed to process thousands of inputs every second from the natural world. It wants to feel the wind. It wants to smell the damp earth. It wants to hear the crunch of dry leaves under your feet. When you take these things away, your brain goes into survival mode. Sensory rewilding is about waking up your body. It is about moving from being a digital consumer to a sensory participant. Instead of just looking at a screen, you need to engage with life. When you walk into a forest, don't just walk. Stop. Listen for the bird that is furthest away. Touch the rough bark of an old tree. Smell the air after it rains. This isn't just a nice thing to do. This is a biological necessity. It tells your nervous system that the world is big, alive, and safe. Most people spend their whole lives in a digital bubble. They are physically in the world, but their senses are locked in a cage. This cage is what makes you feel like a ghost in your own life. When you rewild your senses, you pop that bubble, you come back into your body. You start to feel solid again. You start to feel present. Turning off your phone is a great start, but it isn't the cure. The cure is stepping back into the wild and letting the world talk to you again. Did you know that trees can actually talk to you? It sounds like a fairy tale, but it is pure science. Trees do not use words. They use chemicals called phytoncides. These are natural oils that trees release into the air to protect themselves from germs and bugs. When you walk through a forest, you aren't just looking at trees. You are breathing in their medicine. This is the chemical conversation. Your body listens to what the trees are saying, and it responds in a huge way. When these plant chemicals enter your lungs, something amazing happens inside your blood. Your body starts to make more natural killer cells. These are like your personal army of super soldiers. Their only job is to find and destroy bad cells and viruses. One study showed that just 2 days in the forest can increase these cells by 50%. And here is the best part. That boost can last for more than 30 days. One weekend in the woods can protect your body for an entire month. This is why forest bathing is so different from a gym workout. In the gym, you are breathing in sweat and recycled air. In the forest, you are inhaling resilience. You are breathing in the tree's own defense system. These chemicals also lower your cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that makes you feel shaky and worried. When you breathe in the forest air, your brain gets a signal to stop the stress. It tells your heart to slow down. It tells your muscles to let go of the tension. Most of us live in cities where the air is dead. It is full of dust, smoke, and chemicals from cars. This air doesn't give anything back to you. But forest air is alive. It is a soup of healing molecules. You don't have to do anything to get this benefit. You don't have to run. You don't have to meditate. You just have to be there. You just have to breathe. Every breath you take in the woods is a conversation between the plants and your immune system. They are telling you to be strong. They are helping you heal. Do you ever feel like you can't focus on a single task for more than a minute? You try to read an email, but your mind jumps to your phone. You try to work, but your brain feels like a spent battery. This happens because your focus is being stolen. There are 2 types of attention: hard attention and soft fascination. Right now, you are using too much of the wrong one. Hard attention is what you use when you drive in traffic, read a complex report, or look at a screen. It is focused, intense, and very tiring. It is like a muscle that you are constantly flexing. In the modern world, we use hard attention from the moment we wake up until we fall asleep. We are always on. We are always reacting to pings, dings, and deadlines. This is what drains your mental battery. It leaves you feeling irritable, foggy, and completely burnt out. Now, think about soft fascination. This is what happens when you watch clouds move across the sky. It is what you feel when you watch a flickering campfire or see sunlight dancing on water. This kind of attention is effortless. It doesn't take any work. Your eyes are interested, but they aren't trying to do anything. This is the secret to recharging your brain. When you experience soft fascination, the hard attention part of your brain finally gets to rest. It is the only way to truly recharge your mental battery. Science calls this attention restoration theory. It proves that nature is like a charging station for your mind. You cannot fix your focus by forcing yourself to work harder. That is like trying to drive a car with no gas. You have to pull over. You have to find a place where your eyes can wander without a goal. You need to let the wind, the leaves, and the water do the work for you. When you give your brain enough soft fascination, your focus comes back naturally. You don't need more discipline. You just need to let the forest fix your focus. People will tell you that burnout is a sign of weakness. They say you aren't tough enough for the modern world. They tell you that your brain is broken. But I am here to tell you that burnout is not a mental illness. It is a healthy response to an unhealthy environment. Your brain is not broken. It is actually working perfectly. It is sending you a loud distress signal. It is like a fire alarm going off in a building. You don't get mad at the alarm for being loud. You look for the fire. The fire is the way we live today. We were never meant to spend 10 hours a day under fake lights. We were never meant to sit still in a chair for half of our lives. When you feel that deep exhaustion, it is your body trying to protect you. It is your evolutionary mismatch reaching a breaking point. Your biology is crying out for its true home. It is begging for the dirt, the trees, and the open sky. In the city, your stress hormones, like cortisol, stay high all day. This keeps your body in a fight or flight mode. It's like keeping a car engine redlining while it's parked in a garage. Eventually, something is going to snap. When you go into the forest, your cortisol levels drop almost immediately. Your blood pressure goes down. Your heart finds a steady, natural beat. This isn't just relaxing. This is your body returning to its baseline. It is your system finally coming out of survival mode and into healing mode. You aren't lazy for needing this. You are being smart. You are listening to the biological wisdom that is written in your DNA. It is time to stop the guilt. Stop apologizing for feeling tired. Stop calling yourself unproductive. You are a biological being, not a piece of software. You cannot update your way out of needing nature. If you want to fix your burnout, you have to stop treating the symptoms and start fixing the environment. You need to give your body what it actually needs to survive. You need to step out of the office and back into the world you were built for. Now that you understand the why, it is time to talk about the how. You might think forest bathing is just a fancy word for a walk in the woods, but it is more than that. It is a specific protocol to reset your nervous system. To do this right, you have to follow a few simple rules. The first rule is the hardest. Leave your phone behind. You cannot rewild your brain if you are checking your notifications every 2 minutes. You need to be fully present. You aren't going into the forest to do anything. You are going there to be. Second, forget about your destination. This isn't a hike. You aren't trying to reach the top of a mountain or finish a 5-mile loop. In fact, if you only walk 100 yards in an hour, that is perfectly fine. The goal is to move slowly. Let your feet feel the ground. Stop whenever something catches your eye. This is about slowing down your body so your mind can finally catch up. You are breaking the city pace and finding the forest pace. Third, use your senses like a child would. Spend 5 minutes just listening. Try to hear the smallest sound, like a bug moving through the grass. Spend 5 minutes looking at the colors. How many shades of green can you see? Touch the moss. Is it soft? Is it cold? This sensory focus acts like a kill switch for your racing thoughts. You can't worry about your mortgage while you are truly focused on the texture of a leaf. You are pulling your energy out of your head and back into your body. Finally, find a sit spot. This is a place where you sit perfectly still for at least 20 minutes. At first, your brain will scream. It will tell you that you are wasting time. It will give you a list of chores to do. Ignore it. After about 10 minutes, something magical happens. The forest begins to accept you. The birds come closer. The squirrels stop hiding. You stop being a visitor, and you become part of the ecosystem. This is when the deep healing begins. This is the moment your internal battery finally starts to pull power from the earth. Some people think that going into nature makes you soft. They think it is only for people who want to relax and do nothing. But they are wrong. Spending time in the forest actually gives you a primitive edge. It makes you sharper, faster, and more creative. When you stay in a city for too long, your brain gets cluttered. It's like a computer with too many apps open at once. The forest is the reset button that clears the memory and makes the processor run at full speed again. Science shows that after spending time in nature, your creativity score can jump by 50%. Why? Because when you are in the woods, your brain enters the alpha state. This is a state of relaxed alertness. It is the same state that top athletes and geniuses use to find flow. In the office, you are always reacting. In the forest, you are reflecting. This is where your best ideas come from. This is where you solve the problems that felt impossible at your desk. Think about the most successful people in history. Many of them had a secret. They didn't just work in offices. They spent long hours walking in the woods. They knew that nature wasn't a distraction from their work. It was the fuel for their work. When you reclaim your primitive edge, you don't just feel better. You perform better. You become more calm under pressure. You see the big picture instead of getting lost in small details. You stop being a busy person and start being a powerful person. Nature does not move fast, yet everything gets done. When you align yourself with that rhythm, you stop rushing and start flowing. You return to your life with a quiet strength that people will notice. They will wonder why you aren't stressed like everyone else. They will wonder how you have so much energy. The secret is that you aren't trying to do it all on your own anymore. You are tapping into the ancient power of the wild. You aren't just surviving, you are winning. Why do you feel bad when you aren't busy? Why do you feel like a slacker the moment you sit down? We live in a world that treats humans like machines. We think if we aren't producing something, we are wasting time. This is productivity guilt, and it is a lie. This guilt is what keeps you chained to your desk when your brain is already fried. It is what makes you check your email at 10 p.m. It is the very thing that is killing your spirit. I want you to change how you look at rest. Taking a walk in the woods is not an escape from your responsibilities. It is an investment in your brain. Think about a professional athlete. Do they train 24 hours a day? Of course not. They know that the muscle doesn't grow in the gym. It grows while they sleep. Your brain is the same way. The work of thinking happens when you are away from the screen. When you are in the forest, your brain is actually doing very important maintenance. It is cleaning out the mental trash and making room for new ideas. You are a human being, not a human doing. Your value is not measured by how many boxes you check off a list. When you give yourself permission to enter the forest, you are saying that your health matters more than a spreadsheet. You are choosing to be a person who lasts, rather than a person who burns out and crashes. Research proves that 2 hours in the woods can save you 10 hours of brain fog at work. You aren't losing time, you are gaining clarity. You are becoming more efficient. The next time that voice in your head tells you that you don't have time for the forest, remember this: you don't have time not to go. You cannot give the world your best if your battery is at 1%. Stop apologizing for being biological. Stop feeling guilty for needing what every human has needed for thousands of years. Put down the heavy weight of expectations. Walk into the green. You will return to your life not just rested, but renewed. Close your eyes for just 1 second and imagine a version of yourself that isn't tired. Imagine waking up with a mind that is as clear as a mountain stream. Imagine feeling a deep, quiet confidence that doesn't shake when things get busy. This isn't a dream. This is who you are supposed to be. Your desk is a choice, but the forest is your destiny. You have spent too long living in a box, breathing stale air and staring at blue light. It is time to come home to the wild. I promised you an emergency reset for when you can't get to the woods. Here it is. It's called the fractal minute. Open your window or go outside. Find one natural thing. It can be a single leaf, the bark of a small tree, or even the patterns in a stone. Stare at the repeating shapes for 60 seconds. Breathe deeply. Feel your eyes relax as they recognize the geometry of life. This simple act tells your brain that the world is still alive. It breaks the concrete trance of the city. Use this whenever the fog starts to roll in. But remember, a minute is just a taste. The real transformation happens when you commit to the journey. Your life is happening right now. It is not happening on your screen. It is not happening in your inbox. It is happening in the air, the wind, and the dirt beneath your feet. You are a part of nature, not an observer of it. When you heal the earth in your mind, you heal yourself. You stop being a ghost in a machine, and you start being a living, breathing human again. Now, I have a challenge for you. Close this video. Put your phone in a drawer. Walk out your front door. Do not go to the store. Do not go to the gym. Just go to the nearest patch of green. Stand there. Breathe. Listen. The forest has been waiting for you for a long time. It has the medicine you need, and it is giving it away for free. Your primitive edge is waiting to be reclaimed. Go get your mind back. The wild is calling. It is time to answer.